Hari Om Tats. Hari Om Tats. Jai Guru. Jai Guru. Asthana Sneha Karunya Dharma Dharma Dhiya Kulam Prabannam Partha Muddishya Shastra Avataranam Kritam. Asthana Sneha Karunya Dharma Dharma Dhiya Kulam Prabannam Partha Muddishya Shastra Avataranam Kritam. We have begun the Bhagavad Gita retreat. I would like to say exclusively Bhagavad Gita. We are going to speak to you only on Bhagavad Gita. So the exposure is expected to be in a way sufficiently full and complete so that you can understand what is Bhagavad Gita, its message, and how it is to be applied in your life ceaselessly, without any break. Therein lies the success and effectiveness of the retreat. The words I recited is from a Sanskrit commentary on Bhagavad Gita. There are a few Sanskrit commentaries for Bhagavad Gita, and some of them are very precious, very, very precious, very substantial. Bhagavad Gita's first commentary is supposed to be Hanumat Paishaja Bhashya. Hanuman has written a commentary for Bhagavad Gita. There you find a little supernaturalism. Then the first commentary that was written by human hands was by Shankaracharya, the Adi Shankaracharya, the first Shankaracharya. Now Shankaracharya has written a Bhashya and a number of commentaries were made for it. In one of the commentaries, as an introductory verse, this is written. It is very profound, relevant, and a very critical evaluation of what Bhagavad Gita is. You know what it says? Asthana Sneha Karunya Dharma Adharma Dhiya Akulam. A very heroic fighter who had none to compete with him. Such a heroic fighter who was standing in the chariot was unable to stand. He kept his bow and arrow down and sat on the chariot. The world had not seen or heard any such episode at all. And for what reason? The reason is for the mind and the intelligence. Of the mind and the intelligence. And the description is very beautiful. Asthana means out of place. After coming to the battlefield, Arjuna should not have given vent to any kind of an emotion like fondness, relative, friends, well-wishers and the others. Battleground is not a place for it. He came to fight, but as a fighter, when he stood up and saw both the armies, he suddenly became shattered. So it was a misplaced demonstration from a heroic fighter. What was it? Sneha Karunya. On the one hand, he was expressing fondness for the fighters. On the other hand, he was feeling sympathy for them. Understand this very well. Dharma adharma dhiya kulam. He thought that it was improper to fight. He did not know what was the proper direction to follow. So thinking about what is righteous and what is not righteous, he got confused. The confusion gave rise to tremendous sorrow. As I said yesterday, The sorrow was burning, scorching his senses. In such a plight, what could be done? I would like you to be imaginative. 4.5 million warriors were present around him. And the most heroic fighter, for whom all there, including the grandfather and the teacher, had the greatest esteem as an unconquerable hero, excellent fighter. Such a person is totally unnerved only for the causes raised by the mind and intelligence. Now when such a plight was presented, was expressed, and he was looking fondly for Krishna to resolve the crisis, Krishna started speaking. And what did Krishna do? It is true that the whole of Bhagavad Gita is a dialogue. The first shloka is an enquiry from the blind king Dhritarashtra to Sanjaya. What was the question? My people and the Pandavas, having come to the battlefield with a view to fight, having come to the battlefield with a resolve to fight, what did they do? What would the fighters do in a battlefield? They would fight. But Dhritarashtra felt that there was something more. The war was not such that anybody could fight easily. So at least Pandavas were the righteous people. So did they not have any moral and ethical question about having to face their own grandfather, teacher, and the relatives, elderly people? Obviously, something in the way of dharma, propriety, must have taken place there. I would like you, Sanjaya, to describe the dharmic exchange, if at all, that took place there before you start narrating the war events. I am totally unnerved. Why? Sanjaya returned to Dhritarashtra on the 10th day of the war, seeing Bhishma de-seated by Arjuna from the chariot. He was unable to contain and hold it. He ran to Dhritarashtra and said, "The great Bhishma has fallen, hit by Arjuna." On hearing this, the blind king felt, no, this is not something easy to overcome, accept. So I would like to know, was there any exchange in the battlefield before the fighting began? Did not any moral and ethical questions occur to anybody? My sons are wicked and cruel, but Pandu's sons, Pandavas, are noble, good, great and virtuous. They would not have easily agreed to fight their own grandfather. So I would like to know, was the question raised and did anybody answer? So far as I am concerned, I believe Krishna was there as a charioteer. He was resolved not to fight, but he had not said, "I would not open my mouth on any question that is raised, for any answer that is sought." So I would like to know. See, the entire Bhagavad Gita is a question, is a discussion on the question of propriety and ethics. Dharma dharma dhiya kula. Bhagavad Gita itself is a discussion on dharma. Dharma means what? What is the power that sustains human life? Particularly in adversities, conflicts, contradictions, paradoxes, puzzles. How can we sustain our mind? This is the one primary question. And this question is dealt with. And Krishna presented the whole essence of our shastras. What is the whole essence of our shastras? I think you should understand that Bhagavad Gita itself is the shastra. The one to be read, heard understood, contemplated upon, and pursued tenaciously. It will resolve all your questions and problems. If you follow Bhagavad Gita and make it run parallel to your mind, your life is the safest. It will be good, great, glorious. You will have no desire at all for anything. There will be no unfulfillment, only fulfillment. You will start floating in the ecstasy of fulfillment. So, the entire Bhagavad Gita is not merely a dialogue, it is a full shastra, a beautiful discussion on what is to be done, how it is to be done, and what is the goal of all our actions and pursuits. See how beautifully the commentator has put it. Asthana sneha karunya dharma dharma dhiyakulam prabannam partham uddishya shastra avataranam kritam. What is the dharma that Sri Krishna exposed to Arjuna? The dharma about the immortal soul in the mortal body of the human. How many times shall I say this? All about the immortal soul in the mortal body of the human. Everybody, when he is born, he is crowned with a mortal body and an immortal soul. My dear souls, refuse to call yourselves, think of yourselves as mortal. I am not mortal. I is immortal. My body is mortal. If you are able to have this differentiation, you have very beautifully stepped into the depths of Bhagavad Gita. Hari Om Tats. Hari Om Tats. Jaya Guru. Jaya Guru. Jaya Guru.